Good morning. It's the 19th of July, 2021, and welcome to another daily devotional. This morning, in my time with Jesus, I was in Judges chapter 3, and this is what it says in the first two verses. Now, these are the nations that the Lord left to test Israel by them. That is, all in Israel who had not experienced all the wars in Canaan. It was only in order that the generation of the people of Israel might know war to teach war to those who had not known it before. I just thought this was a real fascinating passage and a real fascinating insight because what this is telling us is that God left people in Canaan, foreign people, the enemies of the Israelites, the Philistines, the Midianites, all these kind of guys who were going to be a snare to Israel, who were going to be in conflict with the people of Israel, who were going to, in a sense, seduce Israel with their own gods so that the people of Israel were going to be chasing after the Baals and the Asherahs and all this kind of stuff. And God's saying that He left them there so that He could teach a whole new generation how to war. Now, we don't often think of God as being about war. He's the one who He's the Prince of Peace, right? And He causes wars to cease from the ends of the earth. But He is also the one who trains our hands for battle. Joshua had come over the Jordan and he had taken out the vast majority of the enemy in the land, and they were occupying the land. But there were those who were left in the land in Canaan who were there who they didn't displace. And God is saying that I'm going to use these guys to be a way of training your hands for battle, of training your hands for war. Because whilst it would be wonderful if God took away every enemy and took away every aspect of influence of our enemies, He doesn't do that. In fact, He uses assaults against us in order to strengthen us and to train our hands for war. Now, in the New Testament context, we're talking about spiritual warfare here. We're talking about how the enemy would come against us, and by the enemy we're meaning the devil, not the Canaanites, would come against us, and he would seek to bring despair and rejection and hopelessness, and would seek to rob us, because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And we face these troubles and the persecutions because of our faith, and we face them. And the reason why we face them and why God allows us to face them is to train our hands for war, to train our hands for battle, so that whenever disappointments come, we're able to rise up and to fight against it. Whenever there is despair comes, or whenever hopelessness comes, that we can stand by faith because the Lord has been training our hands for battle. In these days, as we move forward in Jesus, there's ground to be taken. But we need to be those who are learning how to fight a good fight, how to war in a good way, not in a way of violence or against people, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But we need to recognize that there is a spiritual conflict going on, and there is a dynamic in the spirit where we need to learn how to war. We need to learn how to war over the words that the Lord gives us. We need to learn how to war over people, over family members, so that the enemy doesn't steal, kill, and destroy. But they come to the Lord and they might have life in abundance. See, God is all about life. But sometimes, as we see life released, we need to take our stand. We need to stand firm. That's how we wage a good warfare. All the difficulties you face, it's training. Because the Lord is readying your hands for battle. Have a great day, guys.